أعزائي المشاهدين، كما عودناكم في برنامجكم الأسبوعي برنامج إماراتي، نستضيف لكم خيرة من دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة. ولهذا الأسبوع نستضيف السيدة تانيا، المديرة التنفيذية لشركة تربزيوم Global Metals في إمارات دبي. Good afternoon, Ms.Tanya.
Good afternoon, Isaac.
At the first, we would like to know who is Tanya Rodrigues.
Okay, well, I am actually born in Dubai, and my parents actually come from a state called Goa in India. It's on the west coast of India. But since I've been born and raised here, I've always, even though I studied in Mumbai for a brief while, I always had an inclination to come back to the country.
Great.
Because of course I love the city, and who doesn't love the city, right?
Sure.
You know.
Let us know more about your experience before you start your own business.
Well, actually I started working with a couple of oil and gas companies in Dubai. Like I said, when I returned to Dubai after college, I started taking up a couple of roles, and it was mainly in the oil and gas business. And over the years, I started, getting a better job, and of course started growing into the same field. And I realized that oil and gas or the steel segment would be my business or line of work.
Great.
Yeah.
22, you start your own business. Let us know if it was a gambling after COVID-19 to have your own business, to move from an employee to employer, or it was a right decision?
Well, no, it was a very much conscious decision.
Great.
I always wanted to set up a company of my own. I always wanted to do something, but I wasn't quite sure. Should I do it now? Should I do it like 10 years later? I decided at some point to wait on it. But then I started thinking many times, I think it is the right time. I should do this now instead of just wasting my time and being, putting this on a very much later date. And that's when I decided to, start Trapezium Global Metals in 2022. Although I think it was the right decision, not because of COVID-19, but it was something I always had in mind to do. Yeah.
It was a right decision, and also how there was the rules and regulation. It was easy process, or you find any difficulties that time?
I think, this country is so welcoming, so I never had any concerns or problems or issues as such at the time of setting up the company. Everything went very smooth. The process was very smooth with the free zone which we have at the moment. And I believe so. One thing I like about this country is it doesn't matter, and there's gender equality. You really doesn't matter, even as women, sometimes it can be tough, but in this country, I've had the right resources to be able to develop myself, and I never found any obstacles. I found people very supportive.
Great.
And recognizing my capabilities and my knowledge. So that is one, a strength, of course, at the time of setting up the company, makes things more easier.
And today we are here. Always Emirati choose the best company who give the best services in United Arab Emirates. Let us to know more about your company details, what you are providing, and how you also build this amazing company with a team who work with you.
Sure. So Trapezium Global Metals actually supplies ferrous and non-ferrous steel products. We're talking about stainless steel, carbon steel, copper, aluminium, all sort of metals to various applications. So my prior experience has been mainly in, I've had an exposure to various steel industries like dredging and marine shipbuilding, offshore wind farm, and of course oil and gas refineries, OCTG, and construction, foundation, pressure vessel and tank farms. So having an exposure to multiple applications does help you, and does help you to actually develop the company through its inception. And I think that is exactly what we do. We supply steel to various clients, And when we see a need that arises, the client is really wanting a product in a shorter span of time, whether it's fast track project, and the client has to wait sometimes 16 to 20 weeks, then we somehow cut short that delivery time in certain cases. Or if the client says he needs a particular product to be approved by Marine or IACS class approval with lab testing, etc., we get that done as well for the client. So we are doing a lot of very technical things which is non-conventional for a typical trading company. But that exactly is what I see, to be able to help the client in all aspects and give value addition to the project.
Tanya, let us to know about to build a long relation with our client, to be always supporting them. How you do that?
Well, I think this is a very brilliant question because I strongly believe in customer service.
Right.
And the core values of the company is only best met when you actually are able to get yourself into the customer's shoes.
So,
How does he think? What does he want? Are we meeting the customer's needs? Are we on time? Are we having a good track record for delivery performance? And are we technically sound? Are we capable? So I'm always thinking in those terms. And I think I really have a tendency to create a good personal relationship with my clients, with everybody, no matter if it's a client coming with a single order of a small quantity or mega quantities. Everybody's an equal customer for me because humans are, of course, the ones who are supporting us in business, and businesses are all made up of human beings.
after sale service, more important from the sale service we can call. How you are support them also after sale services?
Okay. So during the sales, of course, during the sales process, our project actually starts from supply to material production, through inspection of the material, and of course deliveries, quality checks, quality control, etc. After the sales, there are sometimes the client needs a situation where he needs a help for, say, an assembly or an installation or a fabrication support. And we do support the clients if they do approach us in these matters, because the idea is, of course, to be global, because Trapezium is supposed to be a global company,
Right.
and our reach must go all to the West in the USA, up to Europe, Africa, so all the countries. So I think we want to be approachable to the client in terms of whatever is required in the after sales stage.
We need to have a strong team for the search, for the also they could contact the customer or the client always in contact.
Right.
How you are find or do you choose your employees or the team who work with you? In what way you are selecting them? In their profile or in their certificates or in their experience?
Sure.
In which way you are selecting them?
I think the number one key, trait for any employee to be hired or a candidate is definitely passion. First, I look for the passion and the interest in the industry. If somebody is not interested in engineering or technicalities and to go into detail into them, then they would not be having an interest. So definitely passion is number one. Number two, if it's sales, then I'm looking for people to have an engineering background for sure, preferably a mechanical engineering degree. So they understand the product, the chemical composition, the mechanical properties. They can read the test certificates. They can understand data sheets. So that is the reason why I prefer normally engineering. But if it's a non-engineering background, like if it's not really sales or projects related or quality related, then we are okay with somebody who is just having a keen interest and having a minimum a degree to basically pursue jobs.
Let us know more about the process from when you get order, how you get also the raw materials and how you find the best price in the market. As we know, that
Right.
always the price.
Of course,
moving.
it fluctuates. Yeah.
Yes, and we need to find the right source for that. The time very important for the people.
True.
Yeah, for
True.
the customers.
Right.
How you find all the things and how you keep your company always on right way to delivery as soon you can.
Right. So as I was telling you, Isa, our key core actually strength is actually fast track projects here at Trapezium Global Metals. So when we are doing a raw material selection, we choose the origin based on the client's project origin restrictions. So we purchase material, of course, from China, India, Korea, Japan, Europe, and even mainly focused on GCC made products. So we actually, the idea of course, having Trapezium is not just made in UAE, but also the, the GCC Council. So we support manufacturers, new and existing, based out of Oman, Saudi, Bahrain, UAE, Qatar, and Kuwait, to be able to produce material rather than bringing something from China or India. Before we bring material from there, we first check the feasibility of raw material selection from within the country, because you're going to save 5% duties, you're going to save a lot of delivery time and delivery cost, and sometimes the production in the country is willing to match the competition price from overseas just to grab the opportunity and to keep the money and the market share of the oil and gas revenue inside the country. So that is of course the main focus point as well for major oil and gas companies like ADNOC and ENOC, to make sure ICV is very much maintained. So, but other than that, if the client is having a long lead time and he says he's okay with having production outside, we do raw material selection from India, China, etc., like I said, and in Europe as well. So special products like heavy duty wall thicknesses like 200 mm thicknesses plates, 300 mm plates, or cans or shells or pipelines which are only Qatar approved or Aramco approved, must come from Europe. So we work with some of the major pipeline and plate mills in Europe, and same with the AVL. Actually, we follow the approved vendor list for the raw material selection after we getting the purchase order. Once, of course, the raw material is selected or the production facility is selected, then I would, of course, able to, the project basically goes into the stage where they have to plan the vessels or the shipments, the packing, the quality, the inspection. All of that happens at the origin where the material is being collected or picked up from. And once it reaches UAE, the destination, at that point we basically are able to offload the material and take it to the client by road or so, depending on where the project destination is. But based on my relationships with over 30 or 35 plate mills and pipe mills, we are able to get a very good prices and very good support from all the manufacturers who believe in me and who believe in this company. So far we've been able to execute the projects very well with their support on time, most of the times.
And in which way you build the trust between you and the manufacturer or the supplier?
Well, over the 18 years of my steel experience, I've acquired very good key relations and supplier relationships in the market. And I have some sort of a credibility that I am going to be somebody promising in terms of execution and also marketing their products here in the Middle East or globally. So I do, the way I really actually keep personal relationships with the client is simple. If I commit something, I really make sure the commitment is met, whether it's the supplier or whether it's the vendor or the customers. We normally try to, as much as possible, ensure whatever is committed to fulfill it and live up to it, so the suppliers know and keep coming back to us, for future projects.
The technology which help us to find always the right material, even we can support, if we can support sustainability as our visionary leaders who are focusing on that, very important for the earth and for ourselves, for our child. How you are caring about sustainability in your product, and always you try to find the right materials with the visionary leaders or with the vision of our visionary leaders.
Right. So of course, based on the vision, of course, everybody is moving now more towards green steel, less carbon, low carbon emissions. So definitely I would say is we do work with the renowned manufacturers, like I mentioned to you, who are also heading in the same direction. So when we will reach zero emissions is something only matter of time, and time will tell. But as of now, we are definitely focusing on having more sustainable products, not in terms only of the steel manufacture or the steel supply, but also in terms of the coating or the material fabrication facilities and the other sub vendors that we use in steel are also being focused on a greener energy basically.
Today you are export also some product which made in United Arab Emirates.
Yes, we do that a lot.
UAE.
Yes.
Are you proud for that, Tanya?
Very much. So we actually do a lot of exports out of UAE with made in UAE products, apart from, of course, like I said, GCC made products. So we export a lot of UAE made products to USA, to Kuwait, and to Saudi as well. And in some cases, we also focus basically on exporting to Europe. And very soon, we are also, collaborating with a major European dredging company, wherein they are also going to be had quite a good look at the mills and the steel pipe mills here in UAE, and the same will be done in India as well. So we have collaborated with them for a couple of projects. Yeah.
You remember the first project you done?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And how it was?
It was a marine project.
Okay.
It was amazing. The client, of course, was very supportive. I knew it was my company, and I just started the company very new. And we still work with the same clients, of course, until now. And it was basically steel beams, sheets, and some plates. And it was actually S355 ML, which is a thermomechanical low temperature plate. And it was as well some of the AH36 marine grade plates, which we did with class approval. So that was the first project we executed.
And the best project you've done, and you still has a good memory on that?
Every project is a good memory, to be honest. I'm always learning something because I have a tendency to challenge myself, constantly exploring, innovating, finding new ways, experimenting even with steel, testing things, checking the results, what meets what, which steel stands for which application, how does it combine with each other. So I'm I'm an explorer in that sense. So I really think each and every project has something to teach me, and we've learned a lot while growing at Trapezium as well. Of course, my past experience did help, but you see, when you're working, it's a different scenario. But when you have your own company, you can take a lot of challenging tasks and innovate and constantly research and development as well.
What the next? Where is the future plan, or what the future planning for it?
Well, my future plans, of course, is to have some of the market, basically to grab more of the market share from Europe and USA for GCC made products, since we think we are very strong with that. But apart from that, I would also like to have something of my own, a little, maybe, I'm not really quite sure what exactly is missing in UAE in terms of production, but definitely it will be towards the, production, goal. The goal is basically to produce something at a later stage once, we have have acquired customers' trust, and we've proven ourselves here time and time again. The idea is to make some production for Trapezium for sure, like a production unit of some steel product. You
can take like a project more than your capacity, or you are focusing to take in your capacity exactly?
So we are a bit choosy in this sense. So there are multiple traders in the market, and for products that are, conventional or non-conventional, we don't go as per that. So if a client calls me and says, Tanya, I'm willing to place the order with you, are you going to support me? And then I say, yeah, I'm willing to support you as long as you're going to support us. Like I say, it's always about customer service and relations. So even if it's 10 or 15 projects which we are already executing at the moment, we are absolutely okay with that.
Who supports you? Who's your backbone?
In my success, I have actually a backbone, which was my mother, who's not with us anymore. But of course, she has been quite a very backbone in making me very business-minded and having an entrepreneurial spirit. But I think most importantly, it's my husband who's been, the man behind my success. They say behind every man there's a, behind, yeah, there's a woman. Behind every successful man there's a woman. But in my case, I think it's my husband. Yeah, he really is supportive in all aspects. And he also has a tendency to, driving me towards more and more towards success and being part of my success.
Great.
Yeah, so definitely.
And what message you have today for the people who support you as their client or from family member?
Yeah. So
what you will say today to them?
So I would say is to our clients, I really thank my clients and suppliers, and I'm having great gratitude to each and every one of them individually and as a company for giving me immense support. And in times of none of these customers actually seen any sort of bias or in terms of being like a man or a woman or anything of this sort was never looked at, and they only looked at my capability and my knowledge. And I appreciate these customers who really believed in me and they knew I could really make it happen. Yeah.
Today, also, we are staying in United Arab Emirates, one of the best countries in the world from the safety and security, which help us to invest and to grow, and to live with our family also. Our leaders, they support all the part in United Arab Emirates, even also for the golden visa, green visa,
Correct.
things which you are investing as much you can get here in United Arab Emirates. At the first, I will ask you about advice. What you will advise for the people who are planning to come to UAE? What will you advise them?
Well, I would say is this is a great country to start with, to start business, because I think the platform in Dubai has, it's a very strong platform for various segments and various sectors, real estate, oil and gas, manufacturing, and I think art, interior designing, name the segment, name the application, I think this country has it all. And I think I really always kind of say each and every investor should really come to UAE and, invest here, because the country is of course safe, and the financial security and the cyber security as well in this country is kind of, getting to new levels. And I think even though artificial intelligence is a new age and UAE has implemented it faster than other countries, so I would say definitely each and every investor should come here.
And for the woman, as a successful woman, what you will advise for the women who are planning to go out from their home and to start their own career?
So yes, I mean, of course, I would say is that every woman normally is backed by a very supportful man, be it a father, be it a friend, be it a customer, be it a husband or a son. So I would say is the people, the men that I've had around while all of these 18 years of experience have been very supportive as soon as they see the capabilities in me. Mm-hmm. I would suggest every woman to shine in their capabilities, to not be shy or to not be holding themselves back, to prove themselves, to prove that of course brain power is existent equally in all genders. So, and it's only time for recognition on a case-to-case basis, of course. So I think the women should, in this country and of course in the world, should start focusing more and more on their individual capabilities and use it to the maximum, intellectually, physically, be it mentally, and of course in various other ways. And I think also women should start thinking more beyond Instagram and other things, and start using their capabilities or their education as to what they've done, and use it in the development for self-development, and create some sort of business or capabilities that would help their children and and generations to come.
You are the second generation who live in United Arab Emirates from your family, right?
Yes.
Today, if you have a message to the UAE government leaders for their support for our regional leaders, what you will say to them? Offset on our camera, please.
Yes. So of course, to His Highness, I mean everybody, all of them, I would really say thank you so much. I mean, of course, for the opportunity, the support, and the kind of equal rights that expats have in this country. And I would say is that we are blessed to live in this country safe and sound. We are blessed to actually have this country support us in terms of all sorts of business. And I would say thank you so much for your support, and I hope UAE will rise and rise further to greater limits, and sky is only the limit.
Thank you, Tanya Rodrigues, for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure to meet you today, and thanks for your team for the warm welcoming.
Okay.
We wish for you all the best and more of success, inshallah, in the future.
Thanks so much, Isa. Thank you.